Oh, that's a weird spot for there to be a cat in a sewage drain. And where we're at here is kind of weird.
Good morning, guys. Dang dog. All right. Well, from a visual, I'm kind of thinking that today might be the day we're lower than our other averages. Let's see. 182.8. So I'm officially 0.2 lower than my record. So this is what it looks like. All right.
Good evening, everyone. We are finished with a back workout. That's a weird spot for there to be a cat in a sewage drain. And where we're at here is kind of weird. So yeah, today was a weird day. I talked about how last night I got 3 hours of sleep last night, and then I went and worked full shift per day shift for training, and then went home and slept for another 3 hours. So I got 6 hours of sleep in total. It's 10:30 now. We're done with the gym. We're gonna have my cardio workout here in a couple hours. I'll go in the middle of the night here. And I know originally, I think I misspoke when I was talking about what's to come for videos. And I think I said that there would likely be 3 videos posting, whether that being the little edit I made from yesterday, the actual video, and the brainstorming video. I think I said that I was gonna do it today, but I feel like the way I spoke, it sounded like I was posting them today. No, so tonight is just gonna be the normal video. That's gonna be one of them. And then I'll schedule the other 2 to post throughout tomorrow, throughout the day. So for instance, say the brainstorm video at 8 and then maybe at noon have the edit or something like that. Just scheduled them out to post like that. So I might have misspoke on how I was explaining that. So it made it sound like it was gonna be today, but it's my today, which is your tomorrow, since I'm up at night for 3rd shift. So yeah, that's the plan with that. So it's still as planned. It just maybe made it sound like it was actually happening today, so that while I was asleep, those were gonna post, but that was not the case. Today, which you'll see on my weigh-in video, today actually marked the day that my weight was lower than it's been since I've been making these videos, you guys. Today is like the lowest I've been so far. So since we've lowered the calories, we should be on a milestone of that until we kind of maybe hit another plateau. Probably on the 178 to 180 range, I think is what's gonna happen here. I don't think dropping these calories is gonna get me that much lower. And I anticipate that 174, 175 is probably gonna be the end of this, if I have to guess, because I think I had talked about the photo that I was basing a lot of this journey I'm doing right now off of. I think I was 168 or 169. I'd like to believe in the last 10 years of doing stuff that I've put on some muscle and stuff like that, so I just anticipate to be a few pounds heavier at that body fat percentage, hopefully. So we don't necessarily have that much to go, so that's why this little change, I don't anticipate it to go down too far. The other thing too is I do wonder if I was up all day for day shift, so instead of me sleeping from last night till I woke up today, basically from 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning last night till 7 o'clock tonight when I got up and had food, I was essentially fasted that whole time, which normally if I get up at 4 or 5 o'clock, I'd have ate by then. So it's only 2 hours longer to wait for a meal, but the difference is I was up burning calories because my training involved me to do some like exercising activity. So I was burning calories during that time. So there could be a little bit of a, I don't want to say bias, but that's the best word I can think of right now, bias for today's numbers on the scale. But I could tell when I got up and I looked in the mirror, I could tell I was more empty than I was these other couple days since the calorie change. So that's kind of a little bit of update on that, everything on the channel. So yesterday's video, I don't know if anyone saw, I did some of the changes I've talked about. The gym was closed not closed, pretty much empty last night, so I was able to, without impeding on anybody's privacy, I was able to record some in there and, show a little bit of the chest pump. And I kind of put that at the front of the video with a little bit of a, for 5-10 seconds, whatever, before I went into things. So I kind of changed that formatting a little bit where you're getting kind of like, it doesn't mean that I'm always gonna have like a posing thing at the beginning of the video. I'm at that part, or like I've talked about here, where I'm gonna try experimenting with different things, putting different things up front in the video instead of just doing the weigh in and the talk and stuff, just kind of changing that up. So yeah, I made those changes for yesterday. I kind of thought about putting my workouts, what I do for each day. I've kind of showed a week or two of rotation, so 10 days-ish, somewhere in that range, of what I do. And it's essentially just one or two things changed on it. So I think that it really gives people a good starting point on some exercises to do. So I think instead of posting it every day, because it's gonna build a big redundancy, to just kind of like, there's some example stuff that I put out, and if somebody wants to ask some questions about some specific stuff, like, hey, what are some other exercises you do, then I can give a couple additional things that they could do for shoulders or something like that. I don't want to, I don't know. I've kind of find that doing it the way that I had originally planned is kind of a redundancy and going to get kind of just oversaturated in the same thing. Like, right, if it's only changing by one or two exercises a day, or even just one from rotation to rotation, there's no need to just tell you guys the same thing. And let's say if 2 out of 4 weeks of the month are both the same exercises, I just flip back and forth, there's no sense in doing that, I think. So kind of going to change how that's going. Let's see, what do we got? Trying to kind of watch some more fitness content, like I said, to see how to do some of the shorts and try to come up with some ideas. The other thing too is that I find, so I have an iPhone 10. I don't know what iPhone we're on, but it's a wee bit on the outdated side, and I don't necessarily want to get a new phone. And the other thing is I just don't want to, the DSLR cameras or whatever are on the expensive side. And in my mind, I'm sitting here going like, I don't know if I can justify one of those yet. And if I buy a used one, like an older one, I don't know enough about them to be able to compare to know, like, is one better than the other type thing. I do know that when I take my videos or photos or stuff like that, it is, even with, and I don't know enough about photo editing, so I just click the auto button to change like the lighting, contrasts, and all that stuff. It is grainy, and it does not have the best quality if you compare it to everyone else. So you compare people out there that are, putting out, content. I guess a lot of people would say that if your content's good, it's not necessarily about the quality of it or something like that. But I feel like in this scope, where the visual part is an important part of it, the part where, like, if I'm going to take photos, if I'm going to do different things like that, if I can't capture the details in a good quality, then it takes away from the photo, right? If I were to be able to have two different qualities of a photo, the same exact pose and whatever, the same exact thing, I almost could guarantee that the one with the better quality in a fitness realm is going to perform better on stats than the one that's all like grainy and weird looking. So I don't necessarily know what I want to do about that without researching like what actually, right? If I were to go out and buy a brand new quote unquote best in slot type camera, DSLR type camera, that's expensive versus if I were to just buy a used one, like I said. But the used one, I don't know how to know if it's going to even be a better quality than my current camera, because I mean, I think about things like 1080p and different things, and like, how does that stuff change? I mean, I guess you can only, like, the best quality photo can only be the best quality. Like, I guess I just don't understand what difference it is between the camera on the phone I have now and a DSLR camera that's used, or a brand new DSLR camera. Like, what's going to make or break or be a difference in those qualities that's going to make for a better photo that I'm not understanding. So I think I need to do some research on that and figure out what I can do to try to make an upgrade on that, which might also mean some, like, a different change in the mount and a couple things. But I think a better quality is going to benefit in the long run as far as making a better video for you guys. The problem I think I run into, though, is if I do the DSLR type camera, that I wouldn't be able to upload from my phone and stuff, which means that, like, my workflow on that would kind of get messed up, because I don't know how I would just take the photos from the camera, unless I did something with my cloud maybe, and then, like, I uploaded them to the cloud and then pulled them from the cloud on my phone and then did them, like, but I don't know if that'll mess with quality. So some stuff I'm going to try to figure out with that, but definitely some reflection on the changes that are going on here and that I'm trying to implement and make, and try to get some people involved to watch the content and, try to give me their opinion on what could be done different to make it a better viewing experience and things like that. So other than that, tomorrow will be shoulders, and Tomorrow could be kind of weird because as much as today was weird with training, there's a good chance I'm going to get called in for overtime on one of these next 2 days, and it's going to be a short turnaround, and I'm going to have a rough time as far as sleep and figuring everything out goes. So we're still going to make the videos happen. Just stuff might be on a different schedule and not maybe the normal schedule after tomorrow. So, all right, shoulders tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Peace.